Well, it's the last day of the year, and it's been a while since I've posted. So I figured I'd come back and just make one final post before 2025 ends. Before I start talking about how my 2025 went, I do want to acknowledge how 2024 went. Somewhere halfway through the year, time felt like it wasn't real anymore. Time felt like it froze, and the year could not get done any sooner than I wanted it to. My days kept going. I still went to work. I was still teaching. I was still doing everything that I was supposed to do, but it felt like I wasn't actually getting anywhere. I moved out, and I cut out all social media and social life. No noise, just distance. And in the quiet, I wasn't just resting. I was mapping out how I wanted to approach 2025 this year. I didn't know exactly what would change. I just knew that something had to change. So in January of this year, I decided to write my book, The Orb. I needed something to make me feel alive again, something to keep me going. And during the process of writing, I found myself slightly addicted to this. I would wake up every morning writing, and before going to sleep, spending at least a few hours writing some more. It wasn't the kind of addiction that was bad per se. I still got my sleep, but it gave me something to look forward to. It gave me what I think might have been purpose. Not the kind of purpose that serves others or the world, not the way that most people think purpose as, but I found this to be purpose solely for me. It became a reminder of what it means to have drive and to care about something deeply. In that same month, my students got accepted to SCSBOA, which is a prestigious honor band here in Southern California. And my student not only made it, but made it as principal chair, where the student got to do the solos. That meant a lot to me, and I was incredibly proud. All the instructions, all the hours, all the lessons and efforts, the pressure and expectations on top of the work I was already doing in my own life all finally showed results. February was an interesting month for me. Here in Southern California, we had wildfires go on, and I decided to put together a concert with others to raise money to help those affected by the fires. What was so stressful about this program was that the people I had planned it with canceled on me last minute. Granted, we had not been keeping communication with one another, but I couldn't cancel it. I just couldn't do it with the same group of people I intended to do this with, because I had already gone on the radio station, performed on the station, and promoted this event. So it wasn't like something I could just bail out on, you know? So I continued with it, and in less than a week, I put together an entire new program, new pieces, new arrangements. Oh gosh, lost a lot of sleep doing it, but I managed somehow and pulled it off. I do want to thank the few musicians who stepped in at the last moment to make this possible. And I think that's just life, honestly. What happened in this event, not just in music, but in general, it's just life. Sometimes things fall and you have to make it work somehow. In March, I participated in a local wind ensemble and was selected as principal flute. And if it's something that you're noticing here is that I am performing again. For a long time, for my own reasons, I sort of stepped away from the stage, focusing on just teaching and recording. But I decided to get back into the performance life. It was really cool to see familiar faces again, and also really cool to meet new ones. As much as I enjoy ensemble playing, I think ultimately I want to move towards being a soloist. I want to perform my own compositions and the compositions of my friends. I think right now that's where I see myself most musically active and where I would like to see myself doing more of in the future. Around the same time, I was given the privilege and opportunity to compose a piece for a high school, and I wrote this piece, or more like brought back this piece that was never performed yet, Somnio for Wind Ensemble. We performed it at the Coyle School of the Arts, and it was really thrilling for me because the awesome Dr. Barr of Cal State Fullerton was working on the piece with the students. And while I was there, I remember having to tell myself, stay professional, stay professional, stay professional. Even though on the inside I wanted to jump because I was just really excited about what was going on. Also in that same month, 3 of my students made the Suza Honor Band, which is another honor band here in my local area in Southern California, and all 3 made it. What was also really cool is one of them actually made principal chair and was selected to do all the solos. Moments like these never get old for me because getting the chance to see my students succeed, knowing that they're winning auditions, leading sections, standing in the front, is just so incredibly rewarding that I played a major part of that. April was another hectic month for me. One of my students auditioned for the San Diego Flute Guild competition, and we got notice that my student didn't make finalist, which was kind of shocking to me. But, sometimes not everybody makes these things. Then we find out that my student actually was a finalist and a mistake was made. The news came late, and my student was already on her spring break vacation. So, in 2 weeks, one of those weeks of her being out of the country, we had to decide what we were going to do about this competition. So, I told her to work on 2 pieces, one by Chaminade, one by Telemon. And I made a daring move by telling her, memorize the music. Also, in that time span, I had no idea who I could ask to be the piano accompanist because it was so last minute. We had 2 weeks to put together something for a competition. So I said I would learn the piano part to the Chaminade. When the competition happened, she placed 3rd, which is incredible given the circumstances of the situation. Another proud teacher moment because we managed something like that so last minute and still placed. Another cool thing is during that same month, I got a gold flute for myself. Earlier, I mentioned wanting to move towards being a soloist, which comes with having the proper gear. I always had good flutes. It wasn't that I didn't have the right equipment, but for my main flute, the one that I'm always going to be playing on, I wanted it to stand out in a way that represents that this is what I do. So I got a gold flute. Do I sound much better? Maybe, but not by much. I don't know. I almost can't tell. But I did it anyways because, flute playing is what allows me to live comfortably. It's my craft. So I wanted it to reflect me. And yeah, so I took the move and got myself a gold flute. In May, 3 of my students auditioned for the King Carl King Honor Band, another honor ensemble here in Southern California, in which 300 students auditioned, and the 3 of mine who auditioned for it made it. And one of my 3 also became principal chair. Making ensembles is one thing, but being principal for each of the ensembles, well, different students of mine, but each of them making principal chair for each of these ensembles, I started to get a little skeptical. Like, this is too good to be true that my kids are the ones who are making it at the top. But, you know, if it's gonna happen, I'll take it. Seeing success in my own music making feels awesome and meaningful, but also seeing my students succeed was everything to me, because it was like they were winning alongside me. It reminded me of so much why I do this in the first place. In the month of June, I wanted to slow things down because already halfway through the year, it was super busy. For once, I didn't want to pack my schedule with stuff, but I was asked to record for an original song. I almost lied and said I was just too busy, but me being me, I went ahead and said yes anyways. And I'm really glad that I said yes to this opportunity because, well, I really liked the song that was made. So, yeah.
I had my way, would I still feel the same? I wish I could do it all, sing every tune, answer every call. I'm sick of these same old talks, trying something new, then giving up. I wish I could find the words, but I'm not like you, my mockingbird.
July was a big month. And that's sort of why I wanted to slow down June, because I knew July was coming. July, I held my own very first flute camp. 20 students registered, and we had a very, very successful music camp. I had the incredible honor of having the amazing Sarah Andon be my guest artist. Being able to premiere my own composition alongside a highly respected musician is just absolutely awesome. I want to thank everybody, my incredible music staff, for making this event happen. From organizing the venue, to teaching the students, to rehearsals and performing and the masterclass, to the competition. You guys all made it possible, and I'm super, super thankful for all of you. I finished writing The Orb in August. I was expecting myself to finish it at the end of the year, but I did it in 8 months, probably because of how many mornings and nights, hours, afternoons even, that I put into this book. After 800 pages of writing, I was finally finished with telling my story. Wounds became scars, and pain was finally history. Through it all, I realized that time wasn't frozen anymore, and that the clock was ticking. I didn't know this book was going to be the thing that helped me, but I'm glad it was. Another very special thing about the month of August was that I got to see my little brother again after 10 years. Seeing how much he's grown and how kind of a person he is was just something special, you know? At the same time, I was able to do something for my mom that I had been meaning to do for so long. So, yeah, August was meaningful. September was already here, and I finally started to work on my album of flute works. I wanted a second set of ears to listen to my flute playing, someone that I respect very, very much musically. And so I had the incredible honor of working with Damar McGill at the Colburn School. I hadn't set foot on the Colburn campus in like over a decade. So revisiting that location and seeing all the music that happens there kind of reignited my drive or desire to make music again. Like, I always enjoyed making music, but you know, with the orb out of the way finally done, this experience just pushed my desire for music making even more. In October, I was asked to perform alongside another local wind ensemble as principal flute again, which is kind of cool, stressful, but cool. And for whatever reason, I enjoyed playing with ensembles again. Maybe it was because I was feeling more alive at this point. I don't know. Whatever it is, I was just glad to be doing it. Quickly into November, I gave my final performance at the church I had been playing for 10 years. I now play in a different church, and in that church, I'm primarily a flutist, and I will be performing original compositions of mine once a month as the prelude. When I think of moments like this, I think of composers in our history books that used to do this. And it's kind of cool to now get the honor of doing something similar to that. Now, knowing that I'm lucky enough to do this, I want to keep pushing myself and making the best music I can there. And now, for the final moments of this year, December. I had another performance with a local wind ensemble. Well, I've been doing a lot of wind ensemble playing this year. Anyways, it was cool because we got to premiere music from living composers. As you know, I really enjoy doing that. I was also asked to play piccolo, which was a little stressful for me because I rarely ever get to perform piccolo. Like, almost nobody asks me to play the pick. So I had an excuse to get better at it again. I had to pick up the pick. Later in that month, I hosted a recital for all my students that studied with me privately, and hearing how much all of them improved over the years has been so rewarding. Quite the amount of them came to me not knowing how to hold their flute properly, but it just was so awesome to see them performing standard flute repertoire in the flute library over the years, because it's a true reflection of what their hard work and dedication is shown. Personally, I believe that my students can achieve great success, and that belief in them taught me inadvertently how to believe in myself a bit more. And I guess this year really did show what I am capable of. It's been quite a year. It wasn't fast, it wasn't slow. It just felt right. This year, I feel like I found myself. Along this quest that I'm still on about self-discovery, I've found that it wasn't always about searching. It wasn't about becoming, but more about taking away the parts that were not me. For my case, at least, it was about letting go of the parts that don't fit. In that quiet work, I began to see more of myself. And although there were some parts of myself that I didn't quite like seeing, it was still undeniably me. And through it, I learned to love those parts too. Sometimes finding yourself isn't about adding more. Sometimes it's just finding what was always there. So what's next for me? What does 2026 look like for me? The good news is I already mapped out how this upcoming year is going to be. And yes, it's going to be full of music. I won't lie. It feels a little scary right now, seeing everything lined up, staring right back at me. But at the same time, I'm so thankful for the opportunities ahead. I've set goals, and I'll try to do my best with sharing what my journey is like. So feel free to stick around. I'll do my best to make it worth it. Aside from that, until next year.